Welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as Journal Artista, and it's Saturday night over on Ustream.tv. And you can, I've got a live chat, so I'm not exactly talking to myself, but you can join us every Wednesday and Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so I'm going to do a little jelly plating tonight. I got some bigger sheets. I took well, there's gonna be some stuff on the edge, but I have a Canson Mixed Media journal that is 11 by 14, and another one that's 9 by 12. So I'm gonna look at the difference in color. Oh, you probably can't tell. Um, so this one, the 9 by 12, fits perfectly. Then we got half a sheet. So usually when I do the 8.5 by 11, right? I always have that extra inch that's just kind of wasted. So let's try. I'm gonna try that tonight. I mean, I'm sure it'll work. It's just gonna be a little bit different. Well, we'll see how the paper is compared to 110-pound cardstock too. Okay, so I'm going to try to do some Christmas colors. I'm going to use some of these as Christmas cards, some of these for some racks, and a little bit later I'm going to do a quick art journal page. It's probably less than half an hour long. So first, one thing I always do is get some stencils. So I have a few new stencils from Stencil Girl, and this one is made by Mary Beth Shaw. I just love that tree. These are 9 by 12 stencils as well, but that is an awesome tree. I'm going to try to use that one with my coffee cups, and this one is some stars. This one's made by, and you can go to stencilgirlproducts.com. This one doesn't have a name on it, which is strange. Usually all of them have the artist's name. But the quote that I have for a little bit later also has some stars. Hi, Lynn. Um, my quote has stars in it, so I want to use that. And then with either my books um, or my coffee please, then I'll be able to have them inside. And lastly, did I already go through this one? No. Lastly is one by my wonderful friend Maria McGuire, and they're round circles that look like Christmas ornaments. The stars are by Jessica Sporn. Oh, thanks, Rain. I need to remember that. That's not stars. So I've got a few options, and of course I'm going to use some of my Drink Some Coffee, also by Stencil Girl products. These are the ones that I designed. And, well, that's hard to see. I've already used that for some gelling. Um, my coffee please, and my books. Now, if it looks like my book stencil is a little bit messed up, it's because I kind of glued it down by accident. I ripped it up. So it should be interesting it should flatten out with a few layers of paint. Let's just say I completely glued it down. Completely glued it down. Okay, so the first thing, I am going to do some crusty bits, and then I'm thinking that, well, we'll see. I might do some backgrounds. I might jelly plate I don't want to say the normal way, but okay, I think first I'll do some coffee, please, with, let's see, I'll do Maria's Christmas, well, they're not Christmas. It's number L199. I don't think she made it just for Christmas, but they sure look festive to me. Hey, Orla? All right. Did I have a Dee Dee moment? It felt like that. It felt like that, Sherry. I was not a happy camper. Sometimes I try techniques that just don't work out. Or I tried to think of something different. Okay, so tonight I also got a whole bunch of, oh yikes. I picked out a bunch of paints that are shimmery, either have some type of iridescence, gold, copper, silver, some red, a little bit of green, cream and white, one blue. So, and then I found out that I don't have a dark green in Liquitex Basics, you know, however I can make it green. Ooh, I do have cobalt blue. Okay, I like to start with black because that's the first thing, right? When I do my type crusty bit prints, you have to think opposite. Oh, this is not the type of crusty bit that we are talking about. So, so I like the first layer. Usually, I like to do in black, um, and then or darker color, I should say. So maybe let's think. I might try the first one. This is PBO Dynacolor in iridescent blue black. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's a. I don't know if this is a Dollarama basket, but it's definitely cheap. It must be. I'm not sure, but it wasn't. It was a cheaper spot, anyways. Okay, so the iridescent blue black. So because you know the holiday theme, I want to go with some um, iridescent kind of shimmery colors, which I don't normally use all the time. And I definitely don't know how this is going to look on the first layer. So already I kind of see that this is a translucent color, which, you know, sometimes is, for me, a challenge. Okay, see, I cleaned my plate before I pressed record here, and, um, and I can see some hairs from from a baby wipe. That's why I like to say it's bad news, you know, when you're trying to use a baby wipe to clean your plate, because you get some fluffs, a little bit of fluff on it. Sorry, I'm trying to find my. How can I not find? Oh, I'll have to use my this. So I'm gonna add a little bit of black. See what happens. I probably waited too long, but we'll see. I don't know if this black is just gonna go turn it all black, or if it's just gonna, you know, darken up that first color a little bit. I also put some baby oil on my plate before I press record. So between the fuzz from the baby wipes and the from the fuzz from the baby wipes and sorry, I'm looking for it. How did you like it, Orla? Oh, Debbie says add black. But I just um just looking. Hey, Darcy. So anyways, I've got now that looks pretty black. So I've got fuzz, baby oil. It's bad news over here. Okay, so I'm going to use my book stencil, stacked books, and I'm also going to use my. Did you see that fly? What the fluffy's going on here? Where does a fly come from in winter? Do they hibernate? I don't know. I just tease it. I need to get a piece of deli paper. I'm still using a whole bunch that my wonderful friend Jan gave me. Alright, so I'm just going to take some off. I want to make sure I get into the grooves. So the first layer you want more of an open stencil. An open, stencil. We're going to take, oh yeah, can you see the shimmer? Oh, that's going to be fun. This is going to be fun. I take my stencils off. Gonna put them off to the side for a minute. So let's see. So the most important thing is to make sure it's dry between each layer. I'm taking a sneaky peek to make sure it's dry between each layer. So I'm going to use a hair dryer. I love those books. They're in the chat. They're talking about now what are they called? Design up no notes on fundamentals of this notes on color and design. Rats. I don't have them here. You'll have to look at a couple of some of videos before this one. Okay. Hair dryer. So that first layer of that I put of the iridescent blue black, see, it almost dried. So now it's a very uh, I can just tell it's usually I go right down to the plate, so it's dried a little bit before I put the black on, so it should be interesting. Design fundamentals, yeah, design fundamentals notes on color theory, and then there's design fundamentals um, notes on design, notes on layout and design. Rats, there's three different ones, and notes on type. I have all three, and it's pretty awesome. So if you see me touch it, I'm just trying to see this thicker area is not quite dry. So if I'm touching it, I'm trying to see if it's dry. Also, this hair dryer, I know I make sure I have to say it, that I've got the cool button pressed. Oh boy. Ooh, whoa. Easy with the hair dryer. So it's definitely going to be interesting with the fuzz, with the baby oil. We're going to have good times over here. So I'm going to do this at multiple. I want to use this Maria Maguire stencil from stencilgirlproducts.com. So I want to use some stars, and then I think over here, I don't know if I've ever tried my coffee cups. Let's see what happens when I use the stacked books, and then my second layer, my Coffee Please stencil. And I'm quite festive. I have a somewhat festive coffee cup tonight. Hey, Julie. Not getting sound or the broadcast. Maybe somebody can type into chat. All right, and then I think on the other side I'll do the stars inside the coffee cups. Okay. We shall see how this goes. So I've got it's important to pick your stencils out because you want to put them down. Sorry, I was reading chat before the next layer dries. Okay, so we got the blue gold, or the blue iridescent blue. Let's try some red, cadmium red deep hue from Liquitex Basics. I like to do most of my jelly plating with Liquitex Basics. I think, well, this technique anyways, but you know, use whatever paint you got going on. I did pull out some Americana craft paint, so in a couple colors, so we'll try that. I kind of go each way with the way I brayer. I just like to make sure that I have an even layer going on, especially all the way to the ends. Okay, so this is gonna go here, and my coffee cups go over here. If you have a question, please type in caps in the chat so I can see it. All right, I think I need a bigger, okay, rats, can't see. If you're using some of these, usually I use a clean piece of Gelli. If you're using a stencil that has smaller spaces, kind of like this stars and swirls over here. Hey, Carol. I wonder if Jazzy is looking at a, hmm. Let me open links, and then maybe somebody can just link to this page, ustream.tv/channel/journal artista. Maybe if she like goes into it again. Some people I know, it depends if she's using an app, you know. The Razorfrazen fly. What the? Okay, so I want to make sure. Oh boy, see, I was too much chat, not enough do. So because I didn't pull it up enough, not that this is bad. See how a lot of the blue black came off on there, which means not a lot of stuff's well. See, look, not much is going on over here either. As I was saying, when you got design a stencil that is really small, it's good to have a thin piece of paper, you know, to try to, so it's interesting. Let's take a sneaky peek. So we'll do a light, I'm going to make sure this is completely dry, and then let's see what we can pull it with. Heat gun. Brenda. Hi Brenda, by the way. I'm surprised that that your gel highlighters came so quickly. Weren't we just talking about them the other day? See, again, want to make sure it's completely dry, which is, you know, backwards to what a lot of people, you know, normally do, right? So this one might not, this one might be a challenge over here. Real dry. Oh, I thought you bought them at like Amazon or something. But let me say, I bought some cheap ones. We were talking about this the other night. Dry highlighters or gel highlighters. I bought some cheap ones from, I think it was Target at the dollar spot. And in some of my books that I write in, you think I have one close? Anyways, I was using gel pens and then I highlighted it in my own, like in a book, right? And it smeared, not smeared. When I went back a little bit later, I'm going to use some cream to pull this up. When I went back a little bit later, that's white. I want to use unbleached titanium. Like it kind of dissolved. Like it was the strangest thing. It made the writing all blurry. But maybe that's, you know, I also have a Sharpie one somewhere. All right, little bit of cream. I obviously need some more of this. Better write that on my list. I have a list going because lots of times, I don't know about you, if you're in your art room doing stuff, doing things, and then you realize that, you know, you think, oh, I need some more of that, and then you don't write it down, you forget. Okay, cream. Now this is what, you know, the final layer that I'm going to use the sheet. Oh, not dry. This is going to be, see, I've lost practice. Sometimes, you know, when you bust out your Gelli plate again, and you haven't used it for a while, what's it been for me? Well, the last time I used it, it was on stream, so it's been a good more than a month. And you kind of forget because, you know, or I kind of forget what how much paint to put down, that type of thing. So again, this is Canson mixed media paper and the XL from the XL books. So I have a little bit there. Let's see. I'm going to also use a piece of 8.5 by 11, 110-pound cardstock. And I got a little bit of, well, we'll deal with that. I'm going to take another piece of Gelli paper. So I have a little piece over here that doesn't have any paper on it, which is why I'm using the Gelli paper to pull it up. Yeah, it's right, Ed. You forget. It's true. If you don't, I mean, that's with a lot of things, you know what I mean? If you haven't done it for a while, you kind of lose, become out of practice. All right, now I'm trying to find if anybody sees, yikes! If anybody sees Meg, Magnana Meg in chat, I need her address. Or if you see if she comes in. All right. So again, you also want to, as my wonderful friend Linda says, give it a 3-minute massage. You really want, like, I'm really pushing onto this plate. You know, if you have really long nails, that could be bad news. But, you know, we're trying to pick up all those layers of paint. So what's happening is that last layer, the third layer that we put on, has to kind of dry and sink into the paper. So do it that way. And this is not going to hurt your gel, your jelly plate. Let's see. You can take a sneaky peek, see if it's coming up. Now, I haven't tried doing any jelly printing with the Canson mixed media paper from the XL books. So we shall see. I really like to print on 110-pound cardstock. I need to buy the 60-pound. I tried the cover stock. That was bad news. All right, so let's see. It's going to pull. Now, it's not too bad, but we can't really, I mean, you can see a few of the stars, but look at that. Yummo. We got some iridescence on that. You know what? This does look kind of Christmassy still because, it's kind of burgundy. So I didn't press hard enough with the stars. Or I didn't rub, what I'm trying to say. The thin paper, this time I used deli paper, but if you don't have deli paper, you can use notebook paper, that type of thing. I didn't press hard enough with it to get all the little intricate designs, but this one should turn out cool. All right, let's see. So again, because I waited too long to pull that second layer, you can barely see anything. What did I put through this? Oh, my cups. Oh, I lie. You can really see the cups. So I don't know if you can tell. You see the books, and then you can see the cups, and then the gray. See the cream. I need to drink some coffee right now. I can't talk over here. I'm sorry, just looking at the thing. So let's try that again. We're going to get better in the second one. I'm sure of it. Not that that's bad. It's just, not quite what I was going for. But that iridescence was cool. Let's try that again. iridescent blue black. No, let's just use black and we'll use an iridescent in the middle. So this is Rayotech, which is just, it's a Canadian made student grade acrylic. It's affordable, especially because it's, you know, made in Canada. It's pretty affordable, but black, red, then cream. Well, we can do that. I need a baby wipe. Okay. But you don't need a lot of paint. That's another thing I need to say. You'd be surprised at how little paint you need. Well, maybe I need more than this. I definitely need more than that. But hey, printing on Canson XL paper wasn't too bad, actually. Need a little bit of black. My jar's almost empty, but to no avail. I bought a ginormous one. Well, not a real ginormous one, because that's big, but twice the size of that one, because I use it so much. Okay, we gotta be quick. I'm going to do the same thing, see if we get anything different. This one is Coffee Please, and my stacked book stencil, both from Stencil Girl products. All right, I'm going to use some deli paper to pull off that. Now, I can see that I have too much black on there. You know, when I say too much black, I didn't pull off enough. And I don't want to obscure, you know, these clear spaces are what we're going to see. You know, we want those open spaces to be able to see the next stencil. For the next stencil. So again, I'm going to do, let's see, drink some coffee over here, and I'm going to try Maria Maguire's. Well, I wish I knew what it was called. It's not Christmas bulbs. I don't want to say Christmas ornaments. Christmas circles? Okay, we need to make sure this is dry. Hair dryer. Cool. It's got to be cool. We don't want your plate to go up in flames. A coffee cream stencil. Can't be without coffee cream, that's for sure. Hopefully, I won't have to go to take a potty people break tonight, because Linda's telling me to dry paint. Um, I've been drinking a lot of water past couple of days, so you know how that goes. But very important that each layer is completely dry. Okay, second layer. Let's think of some PBOs or some type of twinkly stuff. We have, so I'm not going to pull with cream anymore tonight because I don't have very much of that. Um, hmm, hmm. See, I already lost. How is it possible to lose? I chose the paint before I came on. Oh well. I'll use the Liquitex Basic Silver. I had some PBO's Iridescent Silver. Oh, here it is. It's hiding. I was gonna say, I just picked it out before the show to make sure. It's called, oh, thanks, Rain. This this one by Maria McGuire is called Stitch a Circle. But it looks like some Christmas ornaments to me. So I'm gonna put a little bit of silver, and I think I'll pull it with blue or something. What do you suggest as the... Another important thing is that this second layer is pretty thin paint. You want to be able to see the original. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it with all this silver going on here, but you see, you can start seeing, wow, this paint is smelly. Whew! You want to see the original stencils just a little bit underneath. Just a little bit. So inside, I want to do the stitch circles. Stitch a circle. Stitch a circle. And I drink some coffee stencil over here on top of the books. All right. This time I'll use a, let's see, a clean sheet of deli paper to show you. This also has some really detailed spots. You know, if you don't have deli paper, you want to do something thin. Because see how I can see that that's picked up? You want to, you know, if you don't have deli paper, just use like copy paper, you know, something thin anyways. So let's see, you don't want to rub too long because you don't want to take off that first layer. So that's pretty good. That's half decent if I do say so myself. All right, so I'm going to pull that. Now, so if we take a sneaky peek, these are all Stencil Girl stencils. So we got black and silver. I'm gonna have to do some red. See, there's spots in here when you do that last layer. That's why I have to kind of think backwards. There's these clear spots are going to show your last layer. So, well, silver. How about blue? What do you guys think? Hair dryer. Silver, blue, and white. Maria McGuire. At Maria. Welcome, Jazzy. I'm glad it worked. Oh. Let's try some blue, I think. Alright, so we're all dry. Now, silver and blue I know go well together, so we're going to use some blue. This one is Cerulean Blue Hue, Liquitex Basics. Again, you want a pretty thin layer to be able to pull. If your paint is too thick, it's just not going to pull that many layers up, and you'll have rippage and frustration or clear spots, white spots, or whatever color paper you're using. But it does take, it does take some time to learn how much paint to use. And I always say the same thing. If I go to a different size plate, I always struggle because I'm putting too much paint down, that type of thing. I'm going to use the ginormous piece of... Oh, see, I got some junk on the back, some brayer off. But this is Canson Mixed Media paper that's 12 by 14? Can't be. 11 by 14. 11 by 14. Alright, I got a strip up there for, I'm just going to use some deli paper. Shake, shake, shake. Hey, Jane. So the first two layers you want to be quick. The third layer you really want to, you really need to take your time to pull it. Still not off on that side. That is a ginormous fly. I don't understand. Do they hibernate? I know I already asked that. That is strange. Strange for this time of year. I don't know where. I haven't seen a fly in weeks. Alright. So you want to take a peek. See how I have paint? Well, I don't know if you can see. There's still paint on there, which means I haven't rubbed enough. It is a super fly. This is so strange. Anyway, I know I keep talking to myself about it. You know, does hot cocoa have caffeine in it? Well, if it's artificial, probably not. But cocoa powder, chocolate does have a little bit of caffeine in it. So some of it's not pulling, which will be actually interesting. We can do something with this later. So, the silver, probably because it's translucent. Now, I don't know if you'll even be able to see this online. Jane's got her creative therapy coloring book. Now you get it. Isn't it awesome paper? So, the silver, see how this, whoa, it's there, but it's definitely in the background. It's hard to see. So maybe the better choice was to put blue. Blue is the second layer, silver is the last. You know, sometimes I get in trouble, not in trouble, but I get a little messed up when I'm using a translucent color. Although I don't think it doesn't look too translucent. That's for sure. Try that again. Now look at this goodness on here. Let's see, maybe I'll just do one. I'm thinking about using this. I don't want to lose this goodness. So let's see. I'm trying to think of a color. Well, we got some blue and silver. Talking to myself. No worries. Let's do some bright aqua green. No, I'm going to do iridescent green yellow. There's some crusty bits on that. Too much paint, I can already tell. That is bad news. Well, not that it's bad news, right? We can do, let's pull. This is a foam thingy-me-do. The thing with these is I always end up with it on my hands. I always end up razor frazzing. Can't talk today. Not too much on there. I also have, where's my Christmas trees? Let's see. I always want to say this is a Cedar Canyon plate, but I think it's Cedar Canyon, Canyon Creek. I always forget. So we got a little bit of something going on here. Now let's pull it on. Let's pull it on black and see what happens. Black cardstock. This is the 65-pound black cardstock from Michaels. And look, I need to be less chat, more plating. And I know I print half sheets, but what I do is print, I'll flip it around and print on the other side too. Night, Anita. So let's pull something. Maybe we won't get anything. Maybe I didn't take up enough paint. Do a rub. So again, we want to take a peek to see if we're pulling everything. Who knows what this is going to look like? This is going to look like nothing. Oh, not that it's bad, but it's shiny. But look, it still left that on the plate. See, too much paint. I think I'm talking to myself tonight more than you guys. So you get I got which looks cool. That actually looks kind of festive. And I could probably do something on top of this. That got me thinking. Let's do some red again. All right, I'm gonna do the first layer is gonna be red, and let me think. Okay, first layer, I'm gonna do both of my coffee cups, and this time I'm gonna print. Okay, here we go. Red. Now I need to make sure the red I'm using is opaque. It's opaque, so I have trouble with translucent paints in the plate. I was just using the red. What is going on over here? All right, so cadmium red deep hue. It looks like that foil wrapping paper. That's true, Debbie. All right, so I'm gonna use some cadmium red. This is a very nice red, I must say, and it's opaque. Or according to Liquitex Basics, it's opaque. I guess it depends, how much. See how pretty thin it is, or thin paint, so it's pretty opaque. I got some extra crusty bits over there. All right. So I got a nice even layer. I'm going to put both of my coffee cup stencils down. And of course, it doesn't have to be coffee. If you drink tea, they're teacups, or, or if you turn them upside down, they could look like Christmas bells. Okay, actually, I am going to turn this one upside down. Now, I'm going to take these pieces of paper. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to use this and this other piece, which isn't dry. Uh-oh. We could be asking for trouble. I have some, Americana. Yeah, I should have used the Americana, that's for sure, Jane. I don't know if she's talking about me, but I got a deal because Americana was phased out of my Michaels here in Canada, and and they were really cheap. Could be a frappuccino. That could be whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't have, just because I named it coffee cups doesn't have to be. But that's of course my favorite way to use it. So let's see what happens. The whole thought of this. Oh, yummo! Look at that. That was kind of fun. Now maybe my paint was a little too thick, but I love that. I should have put. Let me think. My mind is going now. Nice and bright. Oh, I like that. But see now, oh, let's take these stencils off. What I should have done, should is an operative word, um, or relative. I'm really trying to make sure that I use the right words these days. But anyways, I got this red down. I'm going to pull this red with gold. All right, heat gun. But what I could have done, because heat gun, I meant hairdryer. What I meant was when I put that red down, I could have taken, some type of texture tool or whatnot. And then a lot of these open spaces of the cups would have a little bit of texture. But, you can cut one of these out, or you can cut a section out and use it on a card. And, whatever you want. Sandy says he asked Michael's manager about Americana paints. He looked up and said he's never heard of it. Maybe just my store. Maybe. Hair dryer. The strange thing is my store's brand new. I mean, maybe it's a year old. So there's some too thick of a paint over here. I must say, every once in a while I cheat and put it on hot for 5 seconds, but I don't want anybody to, you know, set their plate on fire. No, because now I went back the other day and the only options were Craft Smart. I don't even think folk art was an option, to be honest. They really want to push their Michael's line. All they had was Martha Stewart and Craft Smart. All right. So this time, I'm going to pull it with some gold paint. That's copper. Well, I guess it should be okay, copper. All right. So Liquitex Basics Gold. Now, I got to make sure this is a thin coat this time. Well, that didn't go so well already. This time I'm going to pull half on white, half on black, see if it makes a difference. So this is the Canson XL paper, mixed media XL paper, and I'll do some black. I can smell something. I don't know if it's my hair dryer or if somebody's cooking upstairs, or maybe Simon's cooking. I don't know. Strange. Yeah, no Hobby Lobby. Hi, Veronica. No Hobby Lobby in Canada. Only Michael's. So we're going to test what it looks like on white and on black. You don't shop at Hobby Lobby when you go to the US? Well, I try to. Alright, we can take a peek on the corner. No, nowhere close to being. What the devil's going on here? Yeah, yeah, Americana. We saw it at Hobby Lobby. Oh boy, look at this bad news. I don't know what's going on with all these crusty bits. I shouldn't say it's bad news. I think it. See, now you can't tell very much that it's gold. Well, maybe there. Maybe there. Maybe we can tell it. Oh, that's bad news over here. Maybe we can tell more on the black. As my friend Jean would say, I've got crusty bits on top of my crusty bits. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, here's the difference. It looks much different on black than it does on white. I don't know if you can. I can see a difference. Can you see a difference? So this bad news. I think I'm gonna stop doing some printing for now. Oh, one more. Well, see, it's hard to do another pull because I have all this extra paint on here that I would have to clean off, or it would be bad news. I wouldn't say it's not necessarily bad news. It's just not gonna print as nicely. So I'm gonna put this bad boy away for now. And we're gonna move on to the art journal page. Yeah, it definitely looks better on black. No laughing at Gene. Okay, which journal do I want to use? What's on here? It's an old one. Not that that's bad. I just want to use. Jean's been here the whole time. Are you done your crocheting? Must have been. So this, like I said, this book already on every page, either I've already gessoed it, it has something on it. I'm thinking, I'm wondering, I'm tempted just to glue down a whole piece of paper in here. What other print did I do? We did this one. Now where's the other part of this one? Oh my. I've lost it. Lost it already. No, here it is. I'm tempted to use this on top of this, actually. As I don't know if I said it before or not, but my quote has stars in it. Oh, we're gonna have to use this one for sure. Is this, we're just gonna maybe do our background. Talking to myself. So my quote tonight, oh, I lost the paper. No, I didn't. It says, good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are always there. Actually, So I can use some of those. Now this was when I was testing the Dilutions black versus the Tim Holtz Distress black, which I thought were exactly the same. I'm going to use some of these stencils, I think, on top. I can use the star stencil uh, on the very top if I could find where I put it. I found the circles one. Oh my goodness. I'm having a rough night, my friends. Rough night. My head's not in the game. Okay. Yeah, I can do this on the very top. Well, hey. Maybe if I just glued down a whole sheet like this. Now, see, I can't. I'm talking. I should probably just sign off because I'm not feeling good. I don't know. Drink some coffee, Paula. So let's see, maybe I already have another page that I can finish. It's a Christmas one we did the other night. So a night sky. This one's kind of cool with Patty's stencil on it. A night sky is pretty dark. Halloween. So my original, okay, this is what I was originally thinking, was that I was going to take one of these papers that I printed. I probably should have done more in blue. And, well, let's do this one. Let's see what happens. So what I was going to, oh my goodness. What I was going to do, take a pencil, is just, freehand some stars. And I just do it the old-fashioned way. My Brayer's beautiful. It's all gold. It is. For a little while anyways. What is going on with my pencil? Can't see it. Oh, that's why it's not held up to the light. Alright. I'm going on the other side of the page so I can see what I'm drawing here. And I'm just doing the stars, the old, I shouldn't say old fashioned, but the easy way. Alright, I want to use probably 2, 4, 6, probably want to use 5, but we'll take, and now, you may think I'll be wasting all this other paper, but, can't be afraid of that. That's my problem. I make all these prints, and, they're so nice I don't want to do anything with them, except stick them in a folder. Yeah, Amazon's a little bit slow. I ordered what my mom. I'm a big gift card type of person. I know that's terrible, but I'm the type that, I like to buy my mom something, maybe Simon, but everybody else gets a gift card. They go and get whatever they want. You know what I mean? Oh, the girls, my nieces, I get presents for, and my grandmother, who I usually just get a book. Well, that's a nice star. Sorry, I got fussy cut all these bad boys, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. I had a long day, no nap for me. And I mean, which sounds crazy, but I usually I like to I sleep from probably 2 to 7, and then usually I take a nap in the afternoon because Simon works, midnight, so we kind of get to spend more time with, especially on weekends like this. So it's not really a nap. I just separate my 8 hours of sleep into two. Debbie likes a good gift card. Yeah, they can get then, maybe I need to make my own gift card holders. I mean, somebody like something for my stepfather or my father, right? Like, it's just easier to. Sometimes I buy my sister something. It depends who, like I like to buy my mom something, give her something special. One time I found these handmade, there were these boxes, and there were 3 boxes, and they were wood, and they were hand carved, and they had owls on top. My mother loved owls, but 3 different owls on the lid. So that's, I like to find those type of things like that. I can't say what I got her this year. However, I can say one of the gifts is the same thing I got Z, a certain book. But anyway, I know, less chat, more cut. Exchange homemade. You know what we did for a long time with my, not my intermediate family, but like aunts and uncles and cousins, because they're all older. Like all of our cousins are having babies type thing. Is that we would do one of those like joke gifts. We draw names and have joke gifts. Oh, we always had great times doing that. Great times. Welcome, Kate. One, two, three, one. I'm gonna have to do some type of collage or something with these scraps. I'll feel bad for throwing them out. I mean, I could have utilized the paper, better. If you would like to see a more concise demo on Krusty Bits technique, check out my YouTube. I do have some over, well, when my mind is thinking clearly. It's a bit better. A bit better's not the right word. Well, let's just say I can use my words. Do you see that fly? That Razzerfrazzen. What? Like, has it been hibernating for 2 weeks? Oh my goodness. I should make holiday cards for everyone. If you took like holiday cards are quick and easy. It all depends on how fancy you want them to be, right? You could take one of these jelly prints and cut it down to, card size, and there you go. You can make a lot of cards really quickly that way. One year I made everybody, now this was a long time ago, when I first started scrapbooking, covered composition books. Well, the women, I was thinking the other day, I wonder if they still have them. One year I made my grandmother a flag book. I need to ask her if she has that. All right, so I got the stars. It's so strange, Jean. Like, or everybody. Like, anyways, I gotta stop talking about the fly. It just blows my mind. We want to find something. A nighttime sky is black. It probably should be a black more of a black blue color, right? Not that I can't, you know, well, that's a hot mess. I might be able to add some layers to this to see what happens. I just want to do something quick. So now I have red, red and gold stars. I'm not sure that goes with a, I'm definitely going to have a black background. Or how about this? Because, you know, maybe the quote when it says that, again, my quote says, good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they're always there. So maybe we need to think about them being, you know, during the daytime. The stars are still there in the daytime, but you can't see them, right? I think so. Now this is a little bit of a hot mess. We need to think about something to do in the background or something to add to this. You know, maybe the brown isn't so nice. And this is why, you know, I like to have all these books around that have pages in intermediate stages or in different stages, shall we say. I don't know. I'm just had a headache earlier and I think well, maybe we can make something out of this hot mess of a page. All right, I think I know what I'm going to do. I got my mind all straight. So remember last Saturday we did this page, Christmas page, and when I was testing stuff or had leftover stuff, this was just the other side of the page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my stars here. Now I know this is going to take, well, I think I can use a black pen so you can see. Here's a black Bic pen. So I'm going to figure out where I want my stars. And I find having these like pages halfway done, it kind of jump starts my creativity. So even if I don't necessarily use, even if I don't use one of the backgrounds that already has something on it, it kind of makes me start thinking about other things. You know what I mean? Or other, trying to think if that's where I want it. Because I do like that other stuff. I'm trying to think about where I want to quote, which is why I'm doing this type of layout. I think I'll have the quote over here. Okay, so I'm going to do is trace around these bad boys. I'm going to use these bad boys, and I'm going to have, I mean, up to half an inch, a quarter of an inch. And as I draw this on, it doesn't matter if I go over the edge. You know, if that worries you, that I have multiple lines there, maybe I should move my camera in one, my friends. But this is going to be a real quick journal page once I'm done. Let me just, so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my stars there. And this might be like a puzzle in the end. Anyways, what I was saying is if you can use pencil if you don't like the look of multiple lines going on there. So let's see if I can remember. This one's going on the top right. I'm going to put them over here. You can't see it. And let's do over here. So I'm going about half an inch to a quarter of an inch, more I guess a quarter of an inch, but I'm not like necessarily measuring them. And I'm telling you, like these stars are, you know, definitely not perfect. I'm sure there's lots of different tools or stencils, die cutters, stamps, whatever, a bunch of different things that have, what's the word I'm looking for? More uniform stars, but you know, I kind of like the whimsical look. Plus, I always say if you do it messy on purpose, then then if you make a mistake, it's not such a big deal. Okay, so this star goes. I got a little layout going on over here, in hopes that I can remember which way they go. Because let me tell you, stuff like this, when you try to put it back on, you gets a little funny. Funny's not the right word. A little tricky to try to put these puzzles back together. Let's see, this guy. Now that I made them all wider, this guy seems awkward. Okay. And sometimes I have it touching the other side, not a big deal. Alright, I got my star shape. Number them in reverse. Well, right now I have them laid out. So if I don't sneeze, it could be. Hi, Sharon. Good night, Sharon. Imperfectly perfect. Perfectly imperfect. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now I just have a choice of what color to paint the rest of this. Um, hmm, hmm. Maybe I will, although the stars are more red, so maybe I need to do more of a green. So let's try, this is some iridescent green yellow by PBOs. See what happens. And put on my non-stick mat. I keep saying, oh, I'm going to use a palette, and then I never do. Guaranteed. Every time. Alright, let's find a brush. So I'm going to paint around them. Well, let's test it over here to see. Well, that's not quite as dark as I want. See what happens when I go over here. Too translucent. I don't think you can even tell what I'm putting down. So I'm going to add a little, I don't know, blue black. See what happens. Like I always say, if you can't test something out in your art journal, when are you going to be able to test it out? Let's see. So paint over again. These colors are just, still you can't see that because it's so translucent. Alright, black it is. I could have added, I guess, one of the darker blues, but like the white dots. Yeah, it's way too translucent, Jean? So I'm going to paint most of this around the edges and leave the stars open. I mean, I'm kind of mixed. The green every once in a while gets picked up. But you know, the whole point is not, I don't worry about the background. I I like to say also that you can't be too attached to the background, right? Like you have, don't be afraid to cover it up. I did finish one of the presents coloring pages, coloring book pages that that was in, I think I showed it my last stream, but I need to think of an art journal page to go with that. Also, it's not flat, like it's more like at the bottom, instead of flat presents flat at the bottom, the presents go into this point. So I don't even know like how to use it in my page because it's awkward. You know what I mean? Like I can't put it on anything flat necessarily, like in an art journal page or whatever, because it's really strange. I don't know why it's like that. Can't talk painting. This might look so nice that I won't even bother putting the stars back. Or I won't want to put the stars back, I should say. Night, Orla. My hands are shaky. Definitely you're not going to have any perfect stars over here. And I have this crazy round tip of a brush. It drives me, I don't know. I should have a angled one. What do they call these? Filberts? Why am I using a filbert when I have sharp edges? Oh, look at, I'm getting fingerprints all over here. Good times, my friends. Good times. What did Kate? The light's out of focus. Oh, the page before I started putting black on there. Yeah, I'll have to tweet a picture of those presents and maybe you guys, somebody has an idea of how to put them in an art journal. Because like I said, they're on a funny angle. All my coloring stuff is by the couch and I didn't bring it in because I think I showed um, that present page the other day, so I didn't think I had anything new to show. I put way too much paint, well probably because I had to put 3 different paints on there to get one that looked half decent. Almost done. All right. So I still have Lots of leftover paint, so I gotta be quick. I gotta be quick over here, though. Use a different journal, just scrape it on. I don't worry about it. I don't think about it. I just do. That black is pretty harsh though. Anyway, so I'm going to take a baby wipe. I want to make sure it's a... Jane, you start swatching your pencils? I like swatching them. I just realized the other day I didn't put my... I actually swatch them usually in two places. And I miss my polychromos in another swatch book. All right, so I'm going to start wiping some of this back. Now, the key is you don't want to wait too long because you won't be able to wipe it back. But you don't want to wait, if you don't want to be too quick, or else you'll just wipe off all the paint. There has to be, it's some type of happy medium. Now, if you were using craft paint, I wouldn't have painted this whole background. Craft paint dries a lot quicker than this. I'm using a student grade paint here. But I'm using the tip more of my finger. Sorry, just checking to see if anyone's talking to me. I'm all confused when Eileen's birthday is, because it seems like every day I look on Twitter and somebody else is saying happy birthday to Eileen. And I'm like, okay, is it today? Is it not today? Is it the whole month? Was it last week? Is she just wanting a card from Dee Dee? I mean, what is it? So I am kind of turning my baby wipe around. You do want to have a clean spot on your wipe so that you're actually wiping back paint, not just moving it around. See, somewhere up here is harder to wipe back. So I want to be able to see some of the, I don't want to wipe it back all the way. I want to still be able to see some of the black. But I do want to wipe some of it off to be able to see what was on the original background. But I continue to move my baby wipe. The 13th? She was born on a Friday the 13th. Uh-oh. We want to know what you bought yourself for your birthday, Eileen. I'm waiting for this one last because it seems like it's still really shiny. Which means it's pretty wet still. Hey, Teresa? Hey, Jen? So it really is... Well, today's the 11th. I thought today was the 11th. Oh my goodness. I'm missing days. This is bad news. I like some of these red parts over here. Some of the gold parts. So see, look. Oh, that's way too much. I took too much off over there. Let's see if there's enough on my paintbrush, which has already been in water, but that's okay. It's sparkly. Wow, the heck was that? All right, I think I like that. I do want, what I'm trying to do, or not a sweet goodness, I'm gonna have to get out some little bit of black here. Um, I'm trying to leave a little bit of a darker edge around each side, of each star. Hey, Jennifer. Ghosts of spiders pasts? I don't see any spiders yet. Oh no. Look, I already messed up my special order over here. Oh, that doesn't fit. Here we go. This bad boy goes here. This guy should be up here somewhere. Nope. Oh, rats. That way? This bad boy goes down here. And I'm also going to outline, once I glue these down, I'll outline them again in black and they'll really then pop up. Oh, sweet goodness. That doesn't fit. Here we go. I thought I had a foolproof plan. Oh no. Black on the other page. Oh, Gene, I didn't even think of that. Oh no. I usually end up, putting my book in some type of, whew, no. Thank goodness. I end up putting my books in paint all the time. All right. So there's not enough red going down. So I think before I glue these down, let's find that star stencil. Oh, here we go again. I don't want to move. I'm going to glue my stars down before I do this, or else there'll be bad news. It'll be bad news. Let's see. I got some Liquitex professional matte medium. I didn't number them. No, that's the problem. I didn't take your advice. I thought, oh, I can be rogue. I can do it. No. Let me see if I use the same brush for glue. All right. Now, I mean, you can use some type of white glue or whatever you want to glue these down, but I do find it easier. Oh, do you see my hand shaking there? Plus, I used to like, not used to, I used to like that white glue. Oh, I should have dried this. The black's not dry and I'm spreading it all over the place. Oh my word. I don't know about anybody else, but sure hard to think when you have a headache. What was I saying? Oh, I can't even remember now. Can't even remember. Excuse me. It's moving. It's slipping and sliding over here. Thanks, Sherry. Change the last star with the top little star. I think I had it wrong. It's possible. Oh, rats. Now I have to do this one. Art journaling. It's a fun and a challenge. Oh, I was talking about glue. I used to really love, oh, rats. Now, what was the type of glue called? It was in like a red and white bottle. A red bottle. They still sell it at Michael's, but they used to sell it like everywhere. Walmart. Scotch Quick Dry. But it's not cheap at Michael's, I'll tell you that. Even if you have a coupon. Might have been quicker though to use a white glue today. I thought the black was smearing, but I think it's more because this is the same brush I used to paint the black. I think it's more my brush wasn't clean. Because this is some sticky stuff. Probably still have some Scotch Quick Dry hanging around here. Actually. Scotch Quick Dry. It used to be affordable at Walmart. All right. Phew. I might, like those two stars are attached. Doesn't it look funny? Maybe if I go in there with a marker or something. Well, close enough. I've got a black China marker. All right, so what do you guys think? I'm going to so my choices are I can go back in with that star stencil, stars and swirls, or maybe it's too much. Maybe it just looks nice um, this way with the background peeking in. It needs some splots, right, Jean? Let me cut off the tips over here. And you know, it would have been if I did this, if I pulled these prints on deli paper, it would have been cool too. Let me dry this to be able to ink it. Heat gun. Yeah, it's definitely at Michael's. But I think it's like $11 for this little bitty thing. It might even be more than that. What? My trees. Well, it's you can still see the little trees right here. The ones that I scratched into the board. Foam, funny foam. Right? Remember, if I had this little piece that I scratched into this thin fun foam. Or I do have this tree one, but that's no good. I might stamp this in red. Just a little. I think it'll just stand out a little bit. See the thing, Jean, I have the quick grab right here, the Eileen's, and I find it way thicker, in my humble opinion. Like, I'm like pushing like this to get it out. I just find it way thicker than the quick dry. I don't know if it's me. Maybe I can add water to it. So this is just a little piece of foam that I scratched into um, uh, last week. This is where you need the tiny brayer. And I don't even have to put paint. Oh, sorry, I was spraying on this. I don't even have to put paint on the whole thing. So let's see. Just want to, oh, you can't even see it. You can't. I didn't want to press too hard to get too much red. Um, so that's enough of that. Again, I have extra red. Let's put it over on this hot mess. I probably just should have wiped that green up. Put it in a smaller squeeze bottle, it will work better. You never used Gelli plates before. Oh, I say it all the time. All these years I've been stamping and scrapbooking and, now I've been art journaling for 6 or 7 years. There hasn't been one tool that I've used as much as my Gelli plate. Heat gun. This red is cadmium red DQ. And I bought this at Michael's. It's okay. I guess for that ginormous quote, I should have used a different size page, eh? All right, let's see. We're gonna ink. Ink is not the right word. I want to outline. I don't know if I have any black Sharpie brush markers right here right now. A regular Sharpie, well, that's bad news. I guess we'll just use a black Stabilo all pencil. So I do want to just outline the shape of this. Whoa! Oh my goodness, I scared myself. Scared. I jumped. I do want to outline it in black, the stars in black, just so you can differentiate them from the background. I mean, you could use any marker or whatnot that goes over um, acrylic paints. Like if I have my Sharpie brush marker in black around here, I would have used it. But I'm also a big, I believe in using what's around you at the same time. So this is what was around me. So it's what I'm using. I might even go back in. I must have a gold paint pen. You think? I'm almost done. Yeah, just write really small. It was the fly. No, it was my arm hit it. See why I say heat gun all the time? So nobody gets scared. One more. Oh, yikes. I went over, so I just wiped back the Stabilo pencil with a baby wipe. What do you guys think? Should I go over these very edges of the stars? Thinking. Well, it's that time of night that I need to ink the edges anyways. You know what else I'm thinking? I have different sizes of those circly, I forget what they're called now. I was just using them last week. I'm wondering, well, they already look gold there anyways. It definitely, I know Jean's gonna hate it, but we definitely need some white spots. I can't help it. I can't help it. I also got this, and now this Sergeant Art stuff. I don't even know. It says made in the USA. I've had this for a long time, but it's so I can do smaller sponge dots. But what color would I use? But this is some acrylic glitter glaze. Dries clear, but it's iridescent glitter. I'm tempted. I want to use it on somewhere. I want to use it. But I could, like for example, let's see. Hold the fort. Why did I put them in this? I mean, they always go right to the bottom. I need to fix this bad boy. I need to just put it in something different. It's what I need to do. Oh, Eileen, there's my fly swatter. I should use that. Okay, but as you see, I think I used... Did I use the biggest one? Yeah. But look, I have two other sizes. Tiny dots. Yeah, but where can I use the glitter glaze? It's already lots of... Well, I think I used white, right? No, I used gold. So those were actually gold. So what do you guys think? The small guy? Oh, so these are called... They're made by Low Cornell. I got them at years ago at I don't know if they still have them there at Hobby Lobby. They're called Style Sticks. So what do you guys think? Some more gold? See what happens? Well, we can wipe it off if we don't like it, right? They're called Style Sticks. So it's a pretty dense foam at the top, and you know, you can... That's way too much paint for these tiny guys. What was I thinking? I mean, you can wash them too, right? So it's not like it's not a one-time use stuff. Boy, I needed like the tiniest bit ever. Let's see. Especially in between here, I find it needs something in between the stars. Isn't that a book? No, I'm thinking of something else. I didn't even wait for an answer. I just started put more dots on there. Hey, Iffy. One vote for Boken. 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 I read typos, but I'm not sure if I... One vote for broken? I have some hanging off the page, of course. So, Jean, is instead of splots, the fault in our start? Maybe. Alright, one more up here, maybe. These daughter things can be addictive. Bokeh. You guys have still got me lost. This is a very dark page. I mean, I know it's a page about stars, but... So I'm just going to put it in the water a bit and then dab it off on a baby wipe. It's pretty good to go. Is Meg here? Meg, my friend, can you PM me right now your address? I'll be able to see it in my chat right now. Make sure it's the -1. Journal Artista -1. Mine, the -1 on there. Alright, so I have a little bit more. I have some gold paint there, so. Oh, this is a hot mess. I agree. Everything needs lots. But alright, I don't know if you can tell in the light how everything, there's a lot of out of bokeh is, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Out of focus photography, usually taken by a particular lens. So what's the filter name on Instagram? Just I'm sure one of the Instagram filters. I like it. It's hard to see, like I said, it's hard to tell how. Alright, let me just see if I found it. Oh, wonderful. Thanks, Meg. Got it. Oh, pronounced like bouquet. Bouquet. It's pretty dark, don't you guys think? Too dark? Let me dry this. Heat gun. Thanks, Darcy. Do you think it needs some white? I don't know. Maybe it's too dark. Anyways, I should stop self-doubting and just. So where's my little thingamidoo? And my other thingamidoo? Well, that's my clear pen. I'm looking for my white gel pen. I just got like a whole bunch of them. It's another clear glitter pen. That is the glue pen. This is getting out of hand. Alright, I really need to focus. Oh look, here's a Sharpie gel highlighter. Brenda's still here. But that's not helping me right now. I'm gonna write that quote in white gel pen as soon as I can find my white gel pen. What the devil? See what happens when you clean up? This cleaning up stuff is for the birds. I just had the white pen. Well, see this is what I'm trying to dig through right now. Don't think it's too dark. I just don't see it. Oh well, I'll have to add the words later. I know for sure there's one. Of course, everything's by the couch. I got a paint marker here, but that's not gonna. That's bad news. It's just not thin enough. Rats! Drink some coffee. This bugs me. Yeah, the white under the binding. Well, I found all these pens, but not the white ones, so maybe I only had 2 in that package. Anyway. Oh, I think I gave one to. Anyway, I'm gonna write with a white Sharpie right here. My quote. My quote again is, I think I need some white splots too. Just saying. Good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they are always there. You know what I have that I can do white? I have this my wonderful friend Rachel gave me this, what do you call this again? Sequin waist, and it's tiny stars. Well, if I just did that with white, well, if we don't like it, go away, wipe it right back off, right? Could be bad, could be good. And then I'm gonna go. So I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Don't forget that Creative Jumpstart 2016, which is organized by Nat Callback, is still on sale. You can check out my blog at Journal Artista, www.journalartista.com to sign up. It's an awesome class. It's got 24 artists. What do you think before I put any more? Night, Lynn. You get 24 videos. Or is it 25? Oh, where's my piece of paper? Oh, I had a cheat sheet over here and I can't remember. I think it's 24 videos throughout January by a multitude of awesome artists. So check that out. There is also an introduction. If you go to my blog, you'll see a little video of all the different artists. So I'm really just bouncing just a little bit. Maybe that one was even too white. I don't know if this is, it's too uniform. Don't you think? I think so too. I think so too. So I need a wet baby wipe. That always helps. Just wipe it back. Oh boy, don't tell me. Everything's okay. It is a little too stark. Anyways, I shouldn't worry too much about it. I worry too much. Plus, it goes with this other page. So, as soon as I find my white Gelli Roll pen, I'll be good to go. It needed the white. Well, see, we can try, like, what if I just did little splots? Tiny splots like this. Hey, I'm going to try it. What's the worst thing that can happen is that we just wipe it off like I just did, right? Somewhere out there in New Brunswick, Jean is cursing. Or not cursing, Jean is grunting. Oh, I almost tipped my coffee. And I totally, while I'm still talking about that, I truly appreciate everybody that supported me with the Creative Jumpstart class. I've taken it myself a few times. This is the 5th year running. I've taken it myself, not last year due to financial reasons, but the year before for sure. But you can't beat the price for the quality. All right, a few spots. And I mean, I'm just going lightly. Thanks to Jane for the wonderful spot tool. So I'm fanning it out, but I'm going real slow. What do you guys think? That's about all I put. Oh. However, let's let dry over here for a second. For example, if I use this piece of paper, this is silver, and the blue, okay, that was too many spots. It looks like a wintry scene. However, it's not so wintry here in Ontario. Not in this part of Ontario anyways. Alright, wipe that up. Oh, Jane's always good for speckles. Right? Just a few. And even if this one's too big, oh, you know, I like big splots, and I cannot lie. It's just a few. Doesn't that look nice? Let me dry this. I do have a white ink pad now. Do you think it's anywhere close? Excuse my arm reach. I have a Memories white ink pad. But I gotta make sure the black is dry. This is a dye ink pad, but it's the whitest dye ink pad I know of. It's gonna go right over the black. Like I always say, you don't have to ink your edges. I just like the way that looks. Always have. Although back in the day, I didn't go direct to paper. I used the color box stylus, and then I just got screw it. Who needs the stylus? Just use the ink pad. I like the splots. How do you like the splots? I don't know. I like it. And then I left this part a little bit white, and again, I don't know where my gel pen is, other than in my pen tote out in the living room. So anyways, I appreciate everybody being here. We got a few jelly prints done. I need to do more, and these pages actually go pretty well together. I still have to write my words over here and write a different quote over here. It's snowing. I think it looks like snow. So anyways, I shall see everybody Wednesday night, I believe. Wednesday night at 9 p.m. I truly appreciate everybody being here. And I'm not sure if you learned anything, but it was fun. And I got three Christmas pages done. That is unheard of. Usually I do one a year and that's it. So I must be getting into the holiday spirit over here. I like it. I'm gonna just keep looking at them. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I made a mess. So we did do some other prints. However, like I said, I'm rusty. Rusty, my friends. I do think this one turned out really cool. Alright, I shall see everyone Wednesday, if not before that, on the interwebs. I have to do both of those pages. Well, I Instagrammed one of them. I didn't Instagram the other one yet in my coloring book. But anyways, I'll see you guys soon. Hey, Terry. Good night, Terry. Darcy, what?